Hello, 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 everyone. Very pleasant to be here. Welcome back to Toronto Games Week, the only place where you can find me currently at this point right now, but you might find me here later. We'll get there. Regardless, I heard that Toy Story 5 was coming out today from multiple people, nonetheless. I also heard that the villain was a tablet, like an iPad. The villain's an iPad. And right now, I have never felt my bones crumble to dust more because, Toy Story is so old, and I have to think about it again, and that's really unfortunate. But thankfully, we are here to take you back to the past. So, if I may quickly toss it over to Izzy real quick, we're going to be going through a bunch of Toy Story history here. Take it away, friend.
All right, hello, Toronto. Welcome. My name is IzzyHope58, and I am so excited to bring you Toy Story Trilogy. We'll be playing Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 back to back to back. I am so excited for this, though. We will get started in 3, 2, 1, go. Woo. All right, so this is Toy Story 1. This was released on the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, PC, and Game Boy. We are playing the Super Nintendo version. This was also developed by Traveler's Tales, who is now known for the LEGO games, but made a lot of movie license games back in the day. This first level is pretty simple. We just gotta jump up here, get the army men out, and then we are going to jump up here, get the baby monitor, and that is the end of the first level. So the next level, Andy and his friends are coming upstairs, and we have to hide all the toys away because, you know, toys aren't alive. Andy can't know that. Him and his friends seem to be very slow walkers because we have 180 seconds to do this all. So this level is actually kind of on a cycle. As long as we have everything done by 132, that's when the level will end. So we are going to be making our way up here. We're going to hit these blocks so that Rocky over there can get underneath the bed. We're going to make our way back over. Knock these blocks off, and then we are going to try to time this plunger here to get these two in. And then we just got to make it on top of the bed because that's where Woody belongs.
Man, I forgot how good this game looks for this.
It is
Nintendo. It's ridiculous.
Surprisingly, like, it is amazing for a Super Nintendo game. All right, so that is the end of Red Alert. Next level is Ego Check, where Andy has gotten Buzz for his birthday, and Buzz is kind of showing off, so we have to show off that we can be a cool toy too. So this level, this is where the game starts to get really hard. This game is notoriously hard, so we can also swing on those ropes there with our pull string, and we are going to be taking some purposeful damage at some places. So we're going to swing here, try to jump and hit that guy. Managed to do that. I took damage there, that's fine. Here we're going to purposely go across here taking damage just to not have to go on that slow part. Hit this enemy here. And we're just swinging for a bit here. Gonna take another damage boost here just to save a little bit of time there.
Man, this is also a grapple hook game, is it not?
Yeah, it is.
Perfect. One of the first, a grand pioneer.
Yeah.
Many to follow.
No, I fell off right at the end. Are you kidding? Did I get a checkpoint? Okay, I did. Alright, that's fine. Wow, I actually have more health than I would usually have here, so that's cool. Alright. I've never fallen off at the very end of the level. That's a new one.
Would you say it's never happened before?
It has never happened before.
Chat, that's your cue.
Huh? Alright. There we go. Now we're at the end of the level. So, next level, if you remember from Toy Story 1, the part where Woody has a nightmare where Buzz turns into a giant... No one remembers that? Oh, wait, I forgot. That was a deleted scene from the first movie. But this level is Nightmare Buzz, where we have to... Woody's having a nightmare, and we have to wake him up from. So, gotta get all these out of here, and then we just gotta hit Buzz a couple times.
Here it comes. Oh. Here it comes.
I assume then that this game was developed alongside the movie rather than after,
Here it
yes?
comes.
Yeah, it was released right around when the movie came out.
Here it comes.
Right, final hit here, and then we're just gonna collect some of these stars. Stars are gonna be important later on in the level. So next level, we are going to be driving RC, trying to hit Buzz out the window, and this part's pretty simple. So if you have any blurbs you would like to read, now would be a great time.
Oh, I do love reading blurbs. If you were to ask where we are right now, and I was to answer in the middle of Toy Story 1, I'd be wrong. We're in the Society Clubhouse. It's a woman-owned, community-focused, multi-purpose event space in the heart of Toronto's West End. It's a hybrid space that includes a tap room, artisan market, and event space, and is also home to the best bottle shop in the city. Curated by the Society of Beer Drinking Ladies, featuring hard-to-find beers from breweries across Ontario. And of course, you know, blurbs aside, I actually could just, like, a couple hours ago, got a really nice pretzel and hot chocolate. Made me really happy. You should absolutely stop by. It's been nothing but a pleasure to be here. And I, like, walked out halfway through the day, and they had this really cool art thing going on. So, I mean, you might as well stop by. You might find something fun, interesting, and unique going on.
Struggling a little bit here. This part can be really hard to control. RC is very slippery, and you have to make sure you hit Buzz every time, otherwise he won't spawn in later. And we also have to make sure we're collecting batteries before we run out, so can be a very dicey level sometimes. We are nearing the end. I can actually skip that battery because we only have one more hit that we have to do. Hopefully. I'm gonna go back for it. No, okay, that's fine. All right, we're back at the beginning. So if you want to read some more blurbs, this is going great.
If you are asking for something to do with your free time while we watch this happen, I know you weren't, but just in case you were, you could always stop by and get some merch. For a limited time only, you can purchase Lady Arcader's Out of Bounds Toronto merch. Choose from a stylish t-shirt. Ooh, that one kind of ruined me. A comfy racerback tank, and your pick of 3 spiral notebooks featuring our event trio, Sprite, Glitch, and K8. Plus, don't miss the limited edition poster of all 3 characters hanging out here at the Society Clubhouse. All proceeds do go towards supporting events and tech for Lady Arcaders. And you can check out the whole collection at tantrummerch.com/Lady Arcaders, or if you want to keep it simple, just type !merch in chat. The support is always appreciated. Wow, talking is hard today. That just makes it funnier.
All right, we finally got to the end of the level.
Huzzah!
Next level is probably my favorite level of all time, in this game at least. Lots of really cool platforming, jumping here. So all the toys are mad at us now because we knocked Buzz out the window. So we're going to jump up here. And the only toy who is willing to help us is Rex, so me and Rex have to get to the end of the level. Take damage there, jump here. Lots of this game is memorizing where to jump specifically, so we are going to be jumping here, jumping over that airplane. Gotta memorize a lot of stuff in this game, especially in the next level.
Oh yeah, the notebooks are really cute. I feel like I need to grab one soon or later. I've been doing a lot of art lately. Great for that.
All right, and that's the end of that level. Next level is Run Rex Run, which is a bit of an auto-scroller, but we do have to be careful because lots of things are trying to kill us. If you played this as a kid, this is probably where you game over, if not sooner. Lots of stuff. Fun fact about how I learned this part, I literally wrote down every single enemy that came onto screen and where they were going to be, and then just memorized that. So another thing we are going to be doing here is we are going to be collecting all of the stars in this level. So the stars are a bit weird in this game. Basically, if you get 50 stars in a level, that will give you an extra life. If you get 49 stars in a level, that will actually refill your health fully, and then 48 will give you one less health than that, and 47 and so on. This level only has, I believe, 48 stars. Most levels have 50 stars, though, so we are trying to get all of the stars in this level in order to refill our health back up to 5. A big part of this game is health management and doing certain amounts of damage boosts throughout a level, and then regaining your health at the end of the level. So that's going to be a big thing we're doing. So we're at the end of level here. Very nice. All right, now we are up to Buzz Battle. I'm going to be listening for a specific audio cue to try to get a cycle skip on Buzz here. So, let's see.
Watch out! Oh. To infinity and beyond!
Very nice, got that.
To infinity and beyond!
So that skipped one of the phases. We have 2 more hits left. And then do one more. Listen for another audio cue.
To infinity and beyond!
Very nice. All right, that was a perfect Buzz Battle. All right, so next level is Food and Drink, which is we're just walking to the right. And we are actually, since we have full health, we are going to be collecting 49 stars in this next level. And we are going to be taking as much damage boost as we can to speed up as much as possible. So this is another great time for any extra blurbs you have.
Oh, even more blurbs? You know me so well. Of course, if you want to support a community that uplifts and celebrates women and femmes in gaming, all our funds are raised through bit subscriptions and Ko-Fi. I think Ko-Fi is fine to say. I can't ever decide whether I want to be Ko-Fi or Coffee. Either way, they're all put towards running future events, tech, web space, and sustaining the vibrant Lady Arcaders community. You can find a link to donate by scanning the QR code at the info booth or by typing !KO-FI in chat. We always appreciate the support, and the more events that we can do out here, the better. I've been having a fantastic time, and I would love to come back next year.
One thing I have to mention, this is Pizza Planet. Where's the pizza? Why is it all hot dogs and fries? And I want pizza at Pizza Planet. I don't understand. I think something's wrong with their marketing or their branding there.
I'm sorry.
You ate it all?
It's all gone.
Aw.
I couldn't help it.
Oh, took damage there, but that's okay. So yeah, we did skip one of the stars earlier on in the level, so we'll be able to take 3 more damage here. So just gonna walk through there. Gotta crouch to make sure they don't step on us usually. All right, and that is the end of Food and Drink. Now we are going inside of the claw machine. This is a very cool level. Lots of fun, challenging platforming to do. Lots of gears.
Ooh, yeah, I like these vibes.
The music's also great in this game. So once again here, we are going to be collecting 49 stars. There's 1 star that's kind of a little bit out of the way, so that's actually perfect. The rest of them are right in our path. And we'll be of course, taking some damage boosts later on. Gotta watch out for these falling coins. This must be a very good claw machine with how many coins they're able to get. Like, must be very popular.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of Sea Dog VA videos. I feel like they might just be filming one of those.
Yeah. We're going to crouch in this corner to avoid damage, and it's also going to prevent a little bit of lag from happening. And make our way back up here. Take some damage there on purpose, and take another here. So the next level is called Really Inside the Claw Machine. We're not quite inside of it yet. The next level, it's supposed to be like a Doom type of level where you have to collect all the aliens. For whatever reason, you can press start and then select and skip the level, and that's the only level it works on. So next level is just free. The level after that is the Claw boss fight. And what we're going to be doing there, we're supposed to hit aliens with the pull string to defeat the boss, but if we get 5 aliens on screen at once, the game will freak out and complete the level. So I'm going to try to do the claw skip here. Nice, got it first try. Let's go.
Ooh.
All right. So now we are on to Sid's house. These final few levels are very challenging, but we should be good. We got a good amount of lives, so not too worried about game overing.
Oh, they did a great job making this place feel like the absolute worst.
Ah.
Oh, now it's
Yeah.
feeling even worse.
Yeah, I know. All right. With everything routed just right, we should be at about 3 health by the end of this level. So far so good, except for that death at the beginning there. Parts of this level are kind of RNG, especially those soda cans that spit out. Sometimes you can't avoid the damage. Make our way over here, wait here. Also gotta love the tink 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 that play all throughout these next 2 levels. And this is probably my favorite part, where Woody goes, ow, 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 hot, hot, hot. Ow, ow, ow.
Oh, you were right. That was great. Oh, we get more?
Yep, we get it all throughout this next section. Oh dear, I have 1 health. I gotta be very careful here. Alright. Get 1 more section here, and then we'll be on to the next level.
Oh, this is actually devious.
Being a little bit extra careful here, but at the end here we can just run to the end. Alright, and that's the end of level. Because I have 1 health, I'm going to purposely take a death at the beginning of the next level, just so I have full health going into it. So this is Battle of the Mutant Toys. This is probably the hardest level for me personally, at least at this moment. So we're going to whip that spider and jump up here. Get more tinking. Thankfully that didn't hit me. And then we gotta grapple our way up here.
Okay, grapple
Drop
ladder
all
is
the way
kinda sick.
down. somehow didn't take damage there. I usually take at least one there, so we are actually in pretty good shape here for the end of level. So coming up, we are going to be finding Buzz, and we are going to be using his karate chop action to fend off the toys. And the timing on this is actually pretty precise. It's harder than it looks, so gotta slowly inch your way forward while karate chopping these legs and whatever the heck that thing is. I forget what it's called.
Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Ow! Watch out! Watch out! Take that! Take that! Take that! Take that! Watch out!
All right, we made it. All right, next level is probably the most infamous level of this game. This is Roller Bob. If you remember the Run Rex Run level, basically that, but 10 times worse. So I do have 1 health here, so I am going to take a death. We should be fine, though. I know we only have 1 life left, but this is the last hard level that we got. So Sid is officially trying to kill us here, just throwing everything he's got. And also his dog, Scud, is going to... So we're going to try to jump over that can. Perfect. Now he's going to throw more rockets at us. And once again, you have to memorize every single thing here, basically. And even with everything here being memorized, it's still hard sometimes to avoid some of them. Some of them are just too hard to completely avoid. Scud's gonna come back. Avoid that. So far, we're doing good. Got that part. Perfect. Be in between those 2 bombs as they land.
You know, why this turn into Battletoads?
I know. How are kids supposed to beat this back in the day? Like, this is insane. Like, I don't think they expected anyone to beat this.
They were making sure that you came back for the rental.
Exactly. All right, we are ending the level, and we made it through with only 1 damage, so that's pretty nice. All right, we got another RC level. Thankfully, this one is a lot easier than the previous one. We just gotta race our way to the end. A little bit right. We're actually gonna skip this first battery because there's another one right here. Go in between these 2 things there. Just go a little bit to the right. And now we're just making a dash to the finish. So another thing, the reason we're playing the Super Nintendo version, one, the 2 claw skip levels that we did, those only work on Super Nintendo. And also the Sega Genesis version actually has an extra level here. It's kind of a 3D racing part, but it's kind of a boring level, so that's the reason we play on Super Nintendo, because it's fastest. This is the final level of Toy Story 1. This is Rocket Man, and we just got to avoid some of the cars, and then we'll be free.
Watch out!
And we got 4 health here, so we can take a little bit of damage.
Watch out! Here it comes! Here it comes! Watch out! Watch out! Here it comes! Watch out! Here it comes!
All right, and we are home free. We just gotta wait till we get to Andy's van. One fun thing that you can do here with this van, there's this little gap, so if you have the health for it, you can fly in just for swag strats. Go underneath the tire. And Toy Story 1 will be done as soon as they fall into the van. And we'll be on to Toy Story 2. Okay.
Here it comes!
And that's it for Toy 1. We are now on to Toy Story 2. This is a 3D platformer collectathon, also developed by Traveler's Tales. So every level in this game has 5 Pizza Planet tokens that we have to collect. There are 50 total in the game, and we need 40 in order to complete this run. We're also doing these circle jumps just to climb up these poles a little bit faster. We'll be doing that all throughout the run. So the first token that we're going to get is the mini boss token. Every level has some sort of boss to defeat, and that will give you a token. So we're going to be... almost fell off there. We're going to be defeating him using our laser attack. Buzz has a normal red laser that does a normal amount of damage, but you can also charge up to get a yellow laser shot, and that'll do a lot more damage. So we're going to do 3 shots on this tin robot here. We're also going to, at the end of the final shot, stand underneath where the token is going to spawn. There's a token spawning animation, but if you jump into the token, you can collect it mid-animation and skip the rest of it. So we're going to be doing that right here. Jump, collect it, perfect. All right, now we are going to be jumping down here. We're going to be doing what's called an extended double jump to make it onto that shelf there. And we're going to collect one of these sheep collectibles. So every level has 5 collectibles that you have to collect and then return them back to your owner. And that will give you the collectible token. We're also collecting coins throughout the level. 50 coins, turn them into ham. That will give us the coin token. We are making our way to the garage. Every level also has a race token, so some sort of race or time challenge. I'm going to do another extended double jump onto this van here. We're also going to grab this green laser, which is basically the yellow laser, but you can hold it down and it's like turbo fire, so basically turbo button. To defeat this enemy. So we're going to bring down the shovel and start this race. We're actually going to climb back up the shovel. Instead of racing around this van 3 times, we're just going to get on top of the van and jump around just this tiny little section and completely skip every single lap. And then we're also going to try to jump into the token during the animation and skip that. Perfect. So the final type of token in every level is the puzzle token. So some sort of puzzle or platforming challenge. Down here in the basement, we are supposed to push a bunch of boxes to get up onto a high shelf. We're going to be doing something called box jump to skip that. So make our way up here, collecting coins along our way. All of these coins have been routed, so we'll have the perfect amount at the very end. Perfect, first try on box jump there. And here is the puzzle token. We're going to jump down here and try to jump off of this nail here to try to skip a ledge grab. Big part of this game, of this run, is trying to skip ledge grabs. You'll also notice I did a spin attack there. That's because doing the spin attack will increase Buzz's hitbox for collecting items and stuff. Not coins for some reason. For some reason it doesn't work on coins, but we're going to be spinning whenever we're trying to collect a collectible or any kind of item. Here we're going to be doing spoon jump, where we're going to be jumping off this weird spoon collision. It's a little bit finicky to get sometimes. Come on. There we go. Do another spin attack to grab that sheep. And we just got our last few coins that we need. 647. There's 3 on the couch. Talk to Bo Peep, get our token. That's the token spawning cutscene, so we try to skip that as much as possible. And then we have our final 3 coins on the couch here. Right where Ham is. Talk to Ham, get our coin token. And then we are going to pause and exit the level. And that is the end of Andy's house, where we got all 5 tokens: coin, collectible, race, puzzle, and boss. Next level is Andy's neighborhood. We are only going to be getting 4 tokens for now. We are actually going to come back later to get the race token once we have the rocket boot power-ups. So, beginning here, we are just going to be pounding these dirt mounds in order to unlock one of the collectibles. We will be coming back to this area later because to turn in the collectibles, we gotta talk to Sarge over there. So, we're going to be working on unlocking this first one here. Now we're going to make our way outside the neighborhood. That lawnmower can be a pain sometimes. Sometimes it's just in your way. It's completely random. So we're going to be collecting some coins on our way to the puzzle token. So over in that yard over there, there's a swimming pool and there's a token above it. And there's a rubber duck that you have to usually blow up in order to bounce your way up to get that token. Instead, what we're going to do is we are going to jump on this space right here and then jump up here. And then we're going to get a collectible at the top of this tree. And we're going to swing off of this thing right here and drop right on top of the token. Very nice, that's perfect. Now we are going to be making our way to the big tree. If you played this game as a kid, this tree is very, very hard, very infamous. It's also a very big run killer. And we have the perfect amount of coins. So on top of this tree is the mini boss, and there's also a bunch of coins, a couple of collectibles. So we are going to be making our way up here. Just spin attack to collect the armament there. Doing circle jumps to make our way up here. So one thing about the mini-boss, usually you have to hit it once and then it'll be invulnerable for a good while and then you can hit it again. However, if you go just outside of the boundaries of the boss will actually be always invincible and you can just spam to kill it. So we are going to be doing that. Doing this hard jump here. Try to hit this robot while doing that jump. We got 49 coins here. We're going to be making our way onto the edge of this bush here. Vulnerable the whole time, and then try to jump into the token. Didn't quite get it. And we have just enough coins so that we can drop down onto Ham right here, get the 50th coin, and turn it in for the coin token. Alright, now we are going to be getting that, and we're going to try to do an extend double jump here. Perfect, to get onto this clothesline and collect our 4th collectible here. So another thing about the spin attack, Buzz has a super spin move, which usually isn't that useful because Buzz will get dizzy after a bit and stop you from moving, so that's usually slow. However, we can use the super spin move in order to talk to characters and extend our hitbox there, so charging up the super spin move to talk to Sarge there. So did that a couple times in the previous level. And that is the end of Andy's Neighborhood. So every 3rd level in this game is a main boss fight. So there's 2 platforming levels and then 1 boss fight. So we're on Bombs Away. We're going to be fighting this airplane. Just got to do 3 well-timed yellow laser shots. Awesome, that's 1. And we're going to go into first person, aim for 2. And then 1 more, that's almost 3. And that's 3, and we're going to exit the level. We are now on to Construction Yard. All right.
Delicious water.
Delicious water. So this level, we're only going to be getting 2 tokens, and we will not be coming back because, see that tall building there, all that scaffolding? That's a pain to climb, especially those moving platforms there. Those cycles are actually completely random, depending on when you load it to the level, so it can be very hard and very inconsistent. Here we're doing the race token. This race token, some of the race tokens, we have to collect items for a character, so we're collecting 5 wrenches for Slinky. Not sure why Slinky needs wrenches, but we're going to give them to him anyways, because he'll give us a token. And then we will also be getting the puzzle token. All right. All right, so now we are going to the puzzle token, and we are going to be going back to preschool because we are going to be mixing colors. We gotta mix orange, purple, and green in order to complete this puzzle token. If everyone in chat or out in the crowd wants to shout out their favorite color, feel free. Mine's probably a light blue.
Ooh, I'm a purple girly myself. I like a good lavender.
Purple's really good. So for these, we want to make sure we do purple last because it means we have to push this can the least amount. But other than that, it doesn't really matter which order we do. So I'm going to be doing green first. Push it over there. Now I'm going to be doing orange, which is yellow and red. Alright, and then we saved purple for last, so it's the least amount of pushing that we have to do. So one thing I have been doing is I have been pausing and exiting to menu to exit out of levels. That's because there is a button that you can press at the end of levels to exit level. Sometimes you can accidentally press it while collecting a token. So Buzz goes to Infinity Beyond, launches up into the air. So that's a little bit slower, so we usually pause, and you gotta make sure not to accidentally press that. So now we are on to alleys and goalies. For now, we are only going to be getting the race token. We will be coming back once we unlock the grappling hook power-up. So similar to the last level, we have to collect 5 bones for Slinky over here, and it's very quick. Also going to be utilizing, once again, the super spin move. Dizzy animation usually isn't that helpful, so we only use it for talking to characters. Hopefully I can make the sledge grab. Perfect. And it should be good. Alright. You can also ground pound in this game, so when I'm doing these spin jumps here, I need to make sure I spin and then jump to grab these, and that will just extend our hitbox a little bit. Alright. So usually the dizzy animation isn't that useful. However, in the next level, we are actually going to bring the super spin into a cutscene, and that will actually allow us to gain movement during cutscenes. So I'm going to do the super spin here, and then bring it into the cutscene. Here we're just going to use it to start fighting the boss a little bit quicker. However, in the next level, we're going to be doing a really cool trick called text storage, where if we bring the super spin move into a token spawning cutscene, that will allow us to prevent the text box from opening, and we'll be able to move around. And as long as we keep moving, then the text box won't open up. If we then talk to a character, we can trigger both text boxes at the same time. And then once we dismiss one of those, then we'll have full control of movement while a text box is open. And that's going to allow us to do some really cool things. So we are making our way over to Alice Toy Barn, and we are going to be doing the boss token first here, which is just up here through this vent. We do have to revisit this level a little bit later once we get the hover boot power up. So we are going to be making our way here. We're going to be doing the first few shots just normally with a charged up yellow shot. Jump over here to where the token will spawn. Do 3 more shots. Do our super spin. Get the final hit. Go right underneath where the token's going to spawn. Jump. And we got the token, and we got text storage. So now we are going to be making our way to Al's office, where the puzzle token is on a very high shelf that usually requires a power-up from Constructioner to get. That's slow. However, if you remember the exit level where Buzz goes to Infinity Beyond, we can combine that with the fact that we have full control of movement with Buzz during that point to launch up and grab the token on that shelf. So this is a little bit tricky. Ah, messed it up. All right. I'm going to try this one more time. I mistimed my jump just slightly. All right. So I am going to have to collect the boss token here in order to get text storage again.
Man, why is this run so sick? It's Toy
Yeah,
Story 2.
It's very, very cool. That trick was found by Spaghetti and Lance, who are in the Toy 2 community. The Toy 2 community, Toy Story communities are amazing, so big shout out to them for finding text storage. We are going to be doing text storage later on in the run as well, a couple of times to skip a few other things.
Well, now I know it has to be a good game because someone with a funny name found a very useful skip. Got text storage again. This music is also amazing in this level, so at least we get to listen to that. Yeah, right now I'm in the camp of, oh no, we have to play more Toy Story 2. No.
Hopefully this will hit me. Nice, we got it. All right.
Woo!
All right, so that saves a lot of time because usually we'd have to go into construction yard, grab the power-up on the top of the building, and then come back down. So that is a very big time save. We are now on to Spaceland, and the puzzle token here is quite infamous because it's one of these claw machines, and if you've tried a claw machine, you know that they can be wildly unfair, and this one is no exception. The shadow here makes it kind of hard to tell where it is. Hopefully that one will hit. Weird fact, on the N64 version, the shadow's actually a lot more clear and solid, so it's a lot easier to get on there, but we ended up getting it. I'm gonna collect this first collectible here and some coins. We are going to be getting all 5 tokens in this level on our first go. So drop down and get the puzzle token. We are going to be making our way over to the race area while getting some of these coins. So the race token in this level is actually just sliding on some zip lines. The hitboxes for these zip lines are very finicky. Sometimes you will just fall through them when you really shouldn't have. So gotta be a little bit careful. These ones aren't too difficult, but later on some of the zip lines can be quite deceptively challenging. Thankfully there's a visual cue with the red lines to tell you when to jump. Gonna grab the tokens here along with this collectible. We are going to be making our way to the mini boss token, and we're going to be doing that. We're going to jump on the edge here in order to jump on this box. Do a neat little series of circle jumps here to collect some of these coins. Very nice. That was very smooth. And then since we have the green laser here, we can just kind of... A lot of the bosses in this game are just... If you get the green laser, you just hold it down and... messed it up a little bit. Hopefully grab the token. Didn't quite make it. That's fine. So yeah, a lot of the bosses in this game are just hold down the fire button to win. So thankfully the main bosses are usually a lot more interesting and dynamic. We can also spam fire and our laser button and our spin button in order to spam there. There's an invisible box there that we can jump off of. That box is visible on the N64 version, but it's invisible for some reason on all the other versions. Get our final collectible and our final coin. And then Ham is right here, just past these boxes. So I'm going to use our super spin again, or try to. Very nice. Now we just have to turn in the collectible token, and that'll be it for Alice Spaceland. Get our last collectible here, and make our way to the end.
Man, now I'm kind of sad I didn't grow up with this game. I grew up with Spyro instead, but now I'm getting jealous.
Yeah. All right. We are on to another boss fight. This is Toy Barn Encounter. Once again, we are going to be utilizing the Super Spin and Dizzy Strat in order to get some damage during these cutscenes. This first one, we're just going to hit fire, just because the routing's a bit faster for it. So this boss, we have to hit the core, then we have to defeat the enemies inside. So we're going to do our Super Spin, get the bottom of it, and then we'll be able to move during these cutscenes to fight that off. For some reason, the controls here are reversed when I'm doing it, so a little bit weird to control. So, bottom, get dizzy, gain control of movement, and then I gotta get all the enemies inside of the pod. Do one more, and then for some reason the final pod does more damage than the rest, so we're actually just going to do a fully charged laser shot on that, or not, I guess. I kind of missed it. That's fine. Laser this guy, spin that guy. And then we just have a couple more fully charged laser shots to finish the boss off. And that is the end of Toy Barn Encounter. We are now on to Elevator Hop, which is probably the most infamous level of this run. There's lots of cycles that can mess up. So we are actually going to be collecting our first power-up in this game. So the way power-ups work is that Mr. Potato Head in some of the levels has lost a body part. In this case, it's his shoe. And once we turn it into him, he will unlock a power-up for us. Here we are going to be getting the grappling hook power-up, and that will allow us to make our way up the elevator shaft, if I can even get up there. Come on. There we go. We're also going to be getting this mouse collectible. These mice collectibles can be very, very mean to you. Because they kind of move around, some of them can be especially cruel. There's a couple later on. So we are going to turn in, get our collectible, and now this is the grappling hook. We're actually going to skip the first prompt on most of these. That is a PC exclusive, and then just collecting some points as we make our way up.
Oh man, this game's also a grapple game? Is Toy Story 3 also a grapple game?
I don't think grappling is in Toy 3, so I think we're clear on that.
For shame, should have continued the legacy.
Alright, hopefully this map... Where are you? Okay, you're right there. You're good. That mouse can be quite annoying to get sometimes. And going up again. And just defeating all the enemies and getting all of the points as we go. We want to save our green laser as much as possible for the boss coming up later. We will be getting all 5 tokens in this level. And then here we have to fight against the fans, which are going to blow us back, which are very, very strong because we're at 60 FPS on PC. So this one's actually off. And then this next one should be on, but it is possible if you do the right jumps. Didn't quite get it. You can grapple that while the fan is on. That's okay. Then we are going to activate, we need that coin. We're going to activate this fan here just so we have a way to get back up here later. And then this puzzle here is always the same solution every time, so you're going to press this button. Then we're going to try to get the ceiling mouse, which is very hard. Got it first try, perfect. And then this is probably the worst mouse of the game. Get the puzzle token there, and then... Oh, I just barely missed it. Okay, so I'm going to have to come back later on to get that mouse. Now that we have completed the puzzle, the cycles for the elevator are now active, so we are waiting for a cycle here. So as soon as this starts moving back up, we're going to jump on this yellow platform here. And we're going to collect this coin. Cycles can be a little bit finicky. Sometimes they don't work, but there's ways to make it work most of the time. So now we're just waiting for this pink platform here. And we are going to be making our way up to the boss platform. We have a good amount of green laser. And then these cycles should line up perfectly so that once we're done with the boss, we can fall down, get a collectible, and then get to the race section, which is also at the top of the elevator shaft. So just lock on. Doesn't even get a single hit on us. Jump into the token. Jump down here. Grab this mouse and coin, and then, oh, I missed the jump! Okay, I theoretically could have, be okay, yeah, I'll be fine. So theoretically, I could have jumped from that platform up here to this here, and then I would have had the perfect cycle to get up here. This is the race area, so the race token in this level, we have to slide down the elevator shaft and race the token there. Alright. We'll be making our way down here, trying to collect coins along the way. As we can. Be a little bit finicky to control Buzz on the sliding, usually. Sometimes. We're looking pretty decent on coins. And I do need to go back to get that wall mouse later on. Be dropping down here, rotate ahead, collect this coin, and then just gotta wait. Okay, grab the token, and we're gonna grab a coin there. All right, let's hope round 2 if the wall mouse goes better. So go up here.
Devious placement on this wall mouse.
Yeah, so usually if you get it the first time, you can talk to the mom mouse there, and it's perfect this time. It's kind of RNG where they spawn, so you just kind of have to get lucky. So we're gonna come back up for a 3rd time and turn in all the mice for the collectible token. And the last token we have to turn in is the coin token. So I have 48 coins, so I should actually be good to just go back down to that first room, because Ham was in that room. So let me make our way here. Please don't electrocute me, thank you. Grab this coin here. And that is the end of Elevator Hop. So, now that we have the grappling hook, we are actually going to be going back to alleys and goalies to get 3 more tokens. We will be getting the boss puzzle and coin tokens. So now the grappling hook is unlocked, so we can make our way up to the boss here. Using in this level is also a major boss. Can you grapple, please? Thank you. Just kind of jump up here. And we're going to jump onto the collision here, get up here. And then here we're going to try to jump on some zip lines, and hopefully they'll let me grab on. Sometimes they won't. Wait for the electricity. And try to jump onto that one. Perfect. Wait for that one, then grab these few coins. Now we're making our way to the boss.
Oh man, all these environments are really growing on me.
They're really nice. For some reason here, if we go into first person right when we enter this vent, it'll kind of warp us to the boss, so it's a tiny little time save. And then just gonna fight this boss, and then kind of messed it up, but that's okay. We'll just spin attack the rest. Alright, got the boss token. We are now going to be making our way to the puzzle token, along with getting our final few coins. We're going to jump off here and try to get this coin on the zipline as we're falling.
Easy.
And then prevent us from falling by doing our double jump, so we don't have a fall animation. Get our last few coins here. And then we're going to be doing a pretty hard jump here, umbrella jump. It's just a really tight extended double jump to get on top of this umbrella. Perfect. Going to be getting some more coins here. This level has lots of coins, so no need to worry. And then we should, since we are done collecting all the coins on this umbrella, 4 to 8, that's perfect. Gonna be ledge grappling up here. Okay, that's a little bit unfortunate. Grabbing this ledge here can be a little bit finicky, but managed to get it. Ground pound that. Get up here. Then here's the puzzle token here. And we just need one more coin. Get this raw and throw in the coin token. Alright, very nice. Alright. So now we are going back to the level we're supposed to be playing, which is Al's Penthouse. Here we are going to be getting the race token, puzzle token, and boss token. So, gotta get 5 horseshoes for Bullseye. Not really sure why he needs 5 horseshoes if he only has 4 feet. I guess one's the spare tire or the spare horseshoe. And then one thing I haven't mentioned is this game has buffer jump. So if you double jump and then hold down the jump button, the first frame that you land, you will get another jump. So I've been doing that all throughout the run. It's going to be especially useful here to get to the puzzle token. So something called train jump that we're just going to jump up the slope here, and it's 100 times easier. So not quite. I say it's easy as I fail it. Oh wow. Okay. All right, managed to get that. So I held down the... I actually don't need coins. I don't know why I'm trying to collect them. All right, now we're gonna make our way up here, get the puzzle token. So another thing in this game is something called shadow boxes. So there's little bits of invisible collision that you can jump on just for a split second, and you're able to jump off of them. So we're going to be jumping off of a shadow box on the corner of this windowsill, and then try to ledge grab the table. Very nice, just like that. Sometimes the ledge grab can fail. The ledge grab is honestly harder than the shadow box sometimes. And now we are making our way to the boss. We're actually going to be doing the first hit before the boss starts, so we're just going to be shooting it once there. And then just a few more hits. Alright, and then jump into the token. Just barely missed it. Alright, now we are on to the Evil Emperor Zurg. So this fight, Zurg can only be defeated using spin attacks. What is that sound? I've never heard that before. Okay, so this is Zurg. We have to use spin attacks to fight him. We're actually going to die in a specific place right here, and then hopefully he will be trapped in this corner, and then we can just keep him trapped in this corner and keep spin attacking him.
Oh, poor guy.
Very nice. That was very clean. I tried to change the volume options there. All right, now we are on to airport infiltration. We'll be getting puzzle, race, and boss once again. Fun fact, this is actually the Toronto airport, and you can tell because this suitcase over here says I love Canada on it. And we're actually going to be going out of bounds here, so we are officially going out of bounds in Toronto. So the suitcase is going to be very nice.
Yeah.
All right, got pushed through with the suitcase, and now we are going to be making our way on top of this plane over here to get the puzzle token. The camera can be a little bit weird in this game. Grab onto here, do some circle jumps, and then I'm actually going to wait for this fan to turn on, and it'll have me... just barely missed it. All right, I mistimed my jump slightly there. That's okay. Make our way back up. Sometimes I use the first person mode to kind of change my camera angle, but sometimes it could be a little bit finicky and not really do what I want to do. Are you kidding me? The game ate my input. I was supposed to jump there. I swear I pressed the jump button. Alright. Third time's the charm on this. There, and then that'll push us over here, jump up onto the sledge, and then token is at the very top here. Very nice. Then I'm going to drop down, grab Mr. Head's lips to get the hover boot power up. But first, I'm actually going to be doing the race. So there is a strat in this level called YOLO, where you get all 5 of the race collectibles, and then you go up to the rocket and get the puzzle token during the race timer, and you have barely enough time to get the puzzle token and to get back to the race. As you can see by how much I failed, how much time it took me to get up to the rocket, I don't go for YOLO. It's too hard for me, but top runners do it. So as soon as you get that 5th one, you just start climbing the rocket right away, and you have like less than a second left. So that is the race token there. We are now going to be making our way over to the boss section. And on our way, we are going to be turning in for the hover boots. These are the hover boots. No, Potato Head, I said hover boots, not bouncy boots. I don't know why he keeps saying that. He thinks they're bouncy. They're clearly hover. So we are going to be making our way here, and we are going to be fighting Stinky Pete here. And once again, he can only be defeated using spin attack, so we're just going to be spamming our fire and spin buttons to just get all the spins in. Just kind of doesn't really matter that we're taking damage here. And then jump where the token is, perfect, and exit to level. So, now that we have the hover boots, we are going to be going back to Al's Toy Barn to get the remaining 3 tokens. I don't know why Buzz keeps saying whoa on the title screen, that's weird. Alright, so now we are going to be getting the collectible, coin, and race tokens. The race token in this level is a little bit weird. Instead of doing the race the first time and getting the token, the first time you do the race it actually gives you one of the collectibles. So we're going to be doing that. Also, the reason we need to come back to this level is for the hover boots. The only reason we need the hover boots in this level is to get this one collectible. Fun fact, there is a very, very hard shadow box you can do on that vent in order to get this collectible, but it's extremely hard and only the top runners do it. I believe only like the top 2 runners do it. I also missed a coin there, so I'm going to get an extra coin here. So this first time we do the race, we're going to have a lot of extra time. So we're actually going to be doing a detour to get a bunch of extra coins. So we have 50 seconds. So I'm going to be grabbing these coins. Going to quickly go on this zip line, but then jump down, grab this coin, grab Mr. Pet's arm to unlock the rocket boots later. Missed that jump, that's fine. I can get up later. Got the collectible here, and then gonna go back for these coins. I would have tried to jump across to that desk and then make my way over here. Okay, that should be good. So now we are going to unlock the rocket boots. The rocket boots are very fun, probably my favorite power-up in the game, and it actually allows us to do a handful of really cool skips. So we're actually going to be jumping into that vent over there to enter that area of the level backwards, but first we are actually going to be jumping over here to grab that chicken, very nice, and then jump into the vent, perfect. And now we are doing this section of the level backwards to get that collectible there, and getting our last few points. Then we're going to be jumping up here to get our final collectible. We can ledge grab. Jump around these wheels. And then ride the skateboard down. Alright, and now we just need the coin token and race token, so we're going to go turn in the coin token. We're a little bit short on coins. Hopefully there's... I got you. Well, I'm actually gonna go back and get this coin that I missed. Usually I would have grabbed this while I was hovering up. Then there should be an enemy in Al's office here that I will get for a coin. Alright. That's 47, and we got 48. 49, and 50. Now we're going to talk to Ham and actually get his token this time instead of using him for tech storage. And now we just have to do the race for the second time, and this time we will actually get the token. So this one we have a lot less time to do this. So we're just gonna make our way over. Gonna skip that swinging part by doing a double jump there. Grab the zip line. And that is the end of Al's Toy Barn. Now that we have the rocket boots, we are going to be going all the way back to Andy's neighborhood. And you can actually do this race token without the rocket boots just by kind of having RC knock into the back of you and prevent him from getting ahead of you. On most platforms, it is actually faster to do it that way, but on PC, because of load times, it's actually faster to come back and once you have the rocket boots. So we just got 3 laps here. And as you can see, we don't really have to follow the exact course. We can just kind of, the only triggers are really going around this tree and going around that cone. Those are really the only requirements, so kind of have free reign besides that. All right, so we are on to our final platforming level, which is Tarmac Trouble. And we are actually going to be doing text storage again, because the race token in this level is a kind of a slime maze that requires us to get through the slime maze without taking damage and without jumping. Otherwise, the token will despawn and you have to restart the race. And it takes about a minute, so being able to skip it will save a lot of time using text storage. So, we are also going to be doing a very hard rocket boot skip here coming up. So we're going to try to jump off of that green platform to get onto the boss platform. Didn't quite make it, that's fine. It saves a little bit of time, just not having to wait for this airplane here. So we are going to be, please make it? Okay, good. All right, so we are going to be getting text storage from the boss here. And we're going to be spinning attack. This is the only way to defeat the boss. Super spin, get underneath where the token should spawn, jump into it. Now we have text storage. Okay, so we are going to trigger text storage, and we are going to keep Slinky's text box open, and that will allow us to delay starting the race, and then we are going to stand where the token spawns and then start the race to collect the token. But we are not actually done there. After that, we are going to be getting text storage for a second time here. So we're going to be doing our super spin move again, and then trigger the race. With the token, we have text storage for a second time. Now we are going to be going over to the puzzle token area. This puzzle is usually RNG, and it will, it's a light puzzle, and it will bring down the helicopter, but instead, we are going to come here, go underneath where the token will spawn, trigger text storage, exit to level, and launch up into the token to collect it. Very nice. That is probably the hardest segment of the run. We have one more level. We have the final showdown for Toy 2. And this is just 3 bosses that we have fought previously, basically. So we have to fight the Gunslinger, the Blacksmith, and Stinky Pete. So we're just gonna spin attack, try to keep them in a triangle so we get as many hits on all 3 of them as we can. These 2 are almost gone, and now we just got Prospector left. And that is the end of Toy Story 2. All right, we are on to Toy Story 3 now. And today is Toy Story 3's birthday. Why is there no sound? That is... I'm going to restart the game so we have sound. All right, but because today is Toy Story 3's birthday, Yes, thank you. Where are those furry favors? I have party hats. All right. Let's try this again. All right. Boot up the game. There we go. Now we have sound.
There we
All
are.
right. Woo! All right. Toy Story 3's 15th birthday. Toy Story 3, the video game, turns 15 today, and this is a very special game to me. This is actually my first ever speed game that I ever ran 6.5 years ago. It's also the first game I ever played and like completed just in general. I talked about it in my interview, so this game means a lot to me. I'm also gonna turn down. Sorry about this. It's a little bit loud on my end. All right.
Perfect.
All right, so yeah, this game means a lot to me, so happy birthday, Toy Story 3, and let's end out this run strong. So, we have an auto-scroll at the beginning here. Fun fact, you have to hold forward. Holding forward here saves 1 whole second. The reason we know that is I spent 4 years not holding forward and always wondering why other people had 1 second faster times than me. And then one day, out of the blue, I just tried holding forward and like, okay, that saves a second. Good to know, I guess. So,
Any logic behind that, or is it just the way it is?
I think it's just the way it is. I still don't know why that's the case. So, after this section, we are going to be making our way onto the train as Woody. So, the fastest way to move in this game is by dashing. The only thing is we have to worry about bonking and ground pounding. So those are 2 things we're gonna have to avoid throughout this. Like that, we want to avoid that. So we're gonna dash here. We're supposed to save the orphans here, but we're going to be skipping all but one because they're slow. We're going to try to do a cutscene skip here. Use the ball to hover ourselves in the air. Perfect. There's another cutscene skip you can do here, but it's very, very hard and not marathon safe at all. Right here. You also got to be careful when dashing. Sometimes, even if you're holding straight forward, if there's like an enemy or something in the way that Woody wants to lock on to, he'll just bonk into that instead, even if you're holding like the opposite direction. So gotta be a little bit careful for that. Hit that thing. And then we are going to be doing our first hit on Evil Dr. Porkchop here. As you can see there, I was holding forward and I went all the way left because the game was like, you want to hit that alien, don't you? So we're going to be jumping off of this box to do a small little skip here. And got just a little bit more, having to avoid all of this stuff. Doing as many dashes as I possibly can, but of course, making sure I don't ground pound or bonk. And then we have one more hit on Porkchop. And we're going to try to snipe him from a bit far away here. Perfect, got that. All right. Wait, and then we're going to exit level once he finishes talking. Saves it a little bit of time. And now we are... Oh, I exited a little bit too early. So in that case, we're just going to go to my practice file and go from there. All right.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Practice files. All right. I could have sworn that would have been enough time. All right. So now we are in Andy's house, and we have to get the phone off the shelf. This first part is very, very quick. We are going to switch to Jesse here. Do a wall jump here. Jesse has the power to land on these small little darts here, so we're just going to use that. Got the phone, and that's the end of the first half of Andy's house. Next part, we have to get the home phone, and we have to get 4 of the army men over to this phone here. So here we're going to be doing something called infinite wall jumping. So basically, you can wall jump in this game, and if you pause the game and then unpause, you will magnetize back to the wall. So we can do that to basically climb walls. So we're going to do an infinite wall jump here, and then we're going to grab this first Iron Man. The infinite wall jumps are extremely broken. They're the best glitch in this game. They allow us to tear later levels apart. We're going to be using it a little bit in this level here. So we're going to the Iron Man here. And then camera, hello. We're going to be doing a couple more infinite wall jumps here to get up to here. Get this second Iron Man. Then we are going to be jumping all the way down here, doing a wall jump at the end, and on here. Use Woody's special move, which is his lasso. Open that just a smidge to get the third Army Man. And then we got one more left. Just gonna right here. Then this one can be a little bit tricky because of these shirts. Sometimes they can kind of boost you out of the way in weird ways. Made it through there. And that is the end of the level. And we are going to exit out of level, and that will unlock the next level. Or it would if... Okay, yeah. All right. Now we are on to Buzz Video Game. This first part is a giant 2.5-minute auto-scroller. So if you have any blurbs you want to read, now is a great time.
A blurb? Just for me. We'll take the moment to say a big old thank you to our alternate language broadcasts. Thank you so much to the Japanese Restream and Speedruns Espanol for offering alternate language broadcasts of Out of Bounds Toronto. The Japanese Restream is running right alongside live with us. Hello there. And the Speedruns Espanol broadcast airs on July 25th and 26th. Type !Restream in chat to check them out and see their schedules. Oh, perfect.
So yeah, this part we have a little bit of obstacles to dodge, but it's honestly not too challenging.
It's your classic. Doesn't get much worse than this for it.
This is the part where I usually go get a snack or something.
Unfortunately, I cannot get up yet and just get you a coffee or something. I gotta stay here, otherwise I would. For the record, if you haven't tried the drinks around here, might as well give them a shot. They are delicious. I've been enjoying them. I had hot chocolate earlier. It was great.
That sounds good. I'm gonna get that after here. Alright, nearing the end of this section here, we just got 2 more of these to go through.
Come on!
We're almost there.
Oh, into the ground a little bit?
No, we still have like 5 more levels after this run. Alright. That is the end of the boring flying section.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Now we are going to be going through this meteor shower and dashing as much as we can to get through this quickly, avoiding all the meteors, of course. One thing about dashing, you would think mashing the dash button would be good, but that actually is slower than, so you kind of have to rhythmically time out your dash buttons to get the optimal timing for them. So it's quite a challenging part of the run that you got to kind of master. Also making sure not to ground pound in certain areas before, because it's very easy to accidentally ground pound in this game. Like that, perfect timing. Thank you, Toy Story 3, for demonstrating my point. And now there's a giant meteor on our way. But don't worry, we survive it. Don't worry.
I'm actually curious, what console did this game come out on?
Okay, so this game came out on 360, PS3, the Wii, and the PC. And for some reason, the PC version, which I'm playing, is based off the Wii version. For some reason.
Weird.
So that's why it looks so... The 360 version actually looks amazing. So if you want to play this game, I'd highly recommend playing it on 360. It's also backwards compatible on Xbox One. So here we are going to be lasering these crystals, and we are going to be trying to do a skip where we'll do 3 dashes into the little portal thing that will launch us up. So position ourselves just here. Nice, managed to make it. So launched into the air. Then we're going to laser this crystal here in order to get some of these rocks as more platforms. Also, we're playing Buzz video game, even though this is Toy Story 3, and that was a scene from Toy Story 2. They figured, hey, this is fun. Why not just put this in the movie, or put this in the game? So we're playing a scene from Toy Story 2 technically right now. All right, so here we're going to be doing a ground pound skip. So we're going to be overlapping a couple of cutscenes. So we are going to be lasering this crystal, go right underneath here, and ground pound that, and that will overlap these 2 cutscenes here. The cutscene that plays when you explode the crystal, then one when you ground pound the thing. So we only have to ground pound this second one and avoid getting hit there, and then make our way to the final section. So this final section has like 5 or 6 things that we are supposed to ground pound. That's very slow, so we're going to use our good old friend infinite wall jumps to get to the end of the level instead. So it's just going to make our way through here. Thankfully, all of these cycles are very consistent as long as you're fast enough. So instead of... So instead of lasering this crystal here, we're going to be jumping off the edge here, trying to avoid some death triggers. Very nice. And then there's an invisible wall here, and we're going to do 15 infinite wall jumps here to get over.
I hate to say it, but this is really the speedrunning I love.
Yeah, I love glitchy speedruns like this. Just like breaking games open as much as you can. I have lost count. There we go. All right. And then, all right, that's the end of the first part of Buzz Video Game. Now we are into Zurg's Fortress. This part can be very tricky. There's lots of places where it's easy to bonk, but we do want to try to dash through as much as we can. So through these tunnels. And then, wait, no, that's not the right way. I forgot where I was going for a sec. Now we got these top-down sections here that we're going to go through. And then here we have these kind of spinny platforms that we have to jump up. For some reason, that laser is invisible for a bit. So we have to, I'm actually going to do an infinite wall jump, and we're going to just kind of jump our way up there instead of very, very slowly shimmying across. We'll jump over here, another invisible laser there. More dashing through these top-down tunnels. So here we are going to be trying to do a cutscene skip. So we're going to wait until the spikes get right to the end. We're going to wait here and dash right at the very end to skip a cutscene. Then we're going to dash across these buttons. And we're going to be doing a pretty cool skip here. And it requires precise timing. Thank you, Buzz. Ah, I missed it. All right. We'll try it one more time. So there's a tiny little gap when those spikes open that you can just dash through. I keep bonking. Wow, okay. I think my audio cues are slightly different, so I'm just gonna do it the normal way here. See, that's what I mean about ground pounding. Like, I was barely off of the ground there, and it's just like, you're slightly off the ground, time to ground pound. Alright, so usually you're supposed to wait cycle there, and then this part will open. So, it saves like a second, and it loses a lot of time if you try to go for it and fail it. So now we're going to laser these crystals here.
I would say, why would you ever try and go for that in a marathon? But I feel the urge.
Yeah.
I understand every moment.
It's fun to show things off. Alright, got more tunnels. How did that hit me? Okay. More lasers. Got another one of these spinning things, so we're just gonna wait till the electricity isn't in our way, because electricity will insta-kill us, and then just jump up and skip the rest of the shimmy. And we got one more top-down section to do. And then we have another cutscene skip that we have to do. They try to make this section a little bit harder by putting things in the way, but clearly just jump over them. Dash through, got the cutscene skip, and then we're gonna dash through these buttons. This one's a tad tricky. And now we're at Robot Room, so we have to fight off all of the Zerg bots. You can actually infinite wall jump over to get to skip this part, but it's actually slower. So we just gotta fight off all these robots. There. Using a combination of laser and dashing into them. And we'll just dash into you. Alright, now we are making our way down to the final section where we will defeat Zerg. So Zerg usually takes 3 laser shots to hit, and usually you'll do 1 laser shot and then he'll go down into the ground, gotta fight off some robots, and then he'll come back. We're actually gonna do that all in 1 cycle, so we're going to be timing out our laser shots precisely here. So first we need to laser the crystal underneath him to get rid of his shield. Then we're going to laser once, laser twice, and laser a 3rd time. And that is 1 cycle Zerg. All right. So, next level is Sunnyside Daycare. And funny story about this level. So, usually this level starts with a 1-minute unskippable dialogue section. Funny story about that. Back in the day, we used to play on a language other than English. And for whatever reason, on the Steam version, on a different language, though the dialogue was just missing. It just wasn't there. And then one day, around 2021, I think like 2023, a patch came out for the game, 14 years later, and added the dialogue back in and broke the speedrun. So now we allow modifying the game files and removing some of the dialogue files that save us time, just so that they're consistent with previous runs. So this level, we have to complete 3 different minigames. We are doing the Bullseye Balloon minigame first. These are very, very fun. Lots of cool routing here. All right, that is the first one down. And now we have the Teeny Racer Challenge. And all of these text boxes would be like several, like you'd have to wait there and listen to them, but because there's no dialogue, we can skip it. So, going to be getting this block, doing a quick turnaround, and trying to get up this ramp. Very nice. That's a pretty difficult route to do. Got these blocks, quickly turn around, get these blocks in the castle here. Go up this ramp. Very nice, and that is the teeny racer done. You're gonna not switch to Buzz. I meant to switch to Jesse. And we are going to go over to the final minigame, which is an alien minigame where we have to hit all these aliens. So we're supposed to hit 50 aliens in order to complete this minigame. For whatever reason, it only requires 47. We're not sure. The game just lets us complete it with 47. So we are Agent 47 right now. We are going to try to take out 47 different aliens. So now would be a good time for any words you'd like to say.
I'm glad you noticed that I'm starting to run out of blurbs. There are a lot of things in this game that are just like a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
Just like a little bit. It's very interesting. It gets me very excited though. 47?
Yeah. So we are purposely going to let a couple of aliens pass at the beginning here. That's because 3 strikes and then that will complete the game. So we, the mini game. So we are going to be prepared, and as long, then once we get 47, we will let the 3rd alien pass. So we're gonna let that guy on the front left go through, and should be able to get to. Please, 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 please. Did that? That didn't count? Are you kidding me? I got 47 at the very end, but it didn't count. Okay. We're going to do this one more time.
I also just want to know I just want to know who the intern was that got put on Toy Story 3.
I know, right?
Because someone had to have, right? They
Yeah.
couldn't just do it automatically out of nowhere. They had to hire someone. Who was it? Are they credited?
Maybe. We can look at the credits. And thank them for making us not have to hit 3 extra aliens.
Yeah, they only fixed the language, didn't fix this, or
Yeah.
presumably anything else that might be slightly wrong with the game in the future.
Okay, so we're gonna let those 2 aliens through.
And surely no scams this time.
Yeah.
Surely.
There we go. Now,
All is
okay, we
well.
have 48 now. We're good. All right. Now we're going to talk to Lotso and exit the level. All right. Now we are on to Bonnie's house, which is the most broken level in the game and also the hardest level in the game. Immediately, we're going to be infinite wall jumping on this invisible wall here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Thank you, intern.
This is casually probably the 2nd longest level, and it becomes one of the fastest levels in the run. So we jump there to change our camera angle slightly, and we're going to be infinite wall jumping all the way up here. We are going to be doing something called invis platforms. So there are some platforms that are always spawned in, but not always visible. And if you were more of a beginner runner, you would go up a little bit further to spawn them in. But because we're swag, because we're cool, we're going to try to do invis platforms. So we're going to go up here.
Oh, it is a grapple game.
Oh, I forgot there is that. I forgot. Every Toy Story game has some sort of grappling. Make our way up here. And nice ground pound game. I love when Woody ground pounds on accident. It's so fun. Right.
You know, I'm starting to see the love. This game has been deeply entertaining so far.
Yeah. Come on. Alright. So now we are going to try to do invis platforms. So we're going to do 3 infinite wall jumps here. that. Very nice. That okay, got it first try. So all of those platforms are invisible, and we're just gonna wall jump over here and then get to the end of that section. We're not done with Bonnie's house yet, though. We got another section with this rocket ship, which is also incredibly, extremely broken. So we are going to be
such good news.
coming onto this rail. We are purposely going to be taking a couple of damage here because we are going to be doing a death warp here. So we're gonna jump and try to take 2 damage. And then we're going to infinite wall jump up here, get an extra wall jump on that side there. And we are going to jump onto this rail, which is going to get rid of a death trigger kind of midway through the rocket. So we are going to die here, spawn back inside the rocket, and then infinite wall jump again up to the rocket. And then we're gonna make our way up here. We're gonna go up this invisible ramp and clip inside, go through the rocket, do a couple of ground pounds.
Oh no.
And then land right on this platform. And then there's supposed to be a bunch of batteries that we're supposed to do to activate this rocket, but this is the only one that's required. So we're gonna make our way here. Just barely. Ground pounding this battery can be a little bit finicky sometimes, so we're gonna do that. One more ground pound. And because the level's completely broken, we have to do one last infinite wall jump to get to the end there. Wow, I'm ground pounding so much today. All right, and that is the end of Bonnie's house. All right.
Woo!
We are now on to Prison Break. This is probably my favorite level. The run is also the shortest. Immediately, just gonna infinite wall jump up this to skip a giant cutscene. Here we have to save Rex, Ham, and Slinky. We're supposed to save Jessie, but instead of hitting that button to save her, we're gonna save her in a slightly different way in just a moment here. So we're gonna dash into this button there. And then we're going to save Rex, and magically Jessie is saved. So the reason that works is because this saving Rex is only supposed to be able to done with Jessie, but because we saved it with Woody, Jessie just kind of warps in. So this part is on a cycle, so we're going to jump around these flashlights, and just barely missed it. It's a little bit slow there. So you can jump around these flashlights. Just like that, perfect. If I can dash into the button, please. Gonna save Slinky here. All right, and now we just have Ham. We're doing this entire level as Woody. We used to use Jessie, but this final part, we actually found a faster way to use Woody. So we're gonna be going up here. And then there's a little bit of a wall that we can wall jump just right there. So we're just going to wall jump off that. And then fall down as we dash. And then save Ham. And that is the end of Prison Break. All right, going to exit level. All right, we are now on to Junkyard. This first section is a bit of an auto-scroller, so you know the drill.
Oh, come on.
Sorry, this game has a lot of downtime.
No, it's been an absolute treasure so far. The people, they yearn for Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3 is my favorite of the Toy Story films.
Anyways, if you want to see more like this, you can come join us at Lady Arcaders. It's an all-women's gaming collective that runs weekly showcases and the occasional charity event. We strive to uplift and encourage women in their gaming endeavors by cultivating a supportive environment in which to showcase their talents, like the ones you're seeing right now. Did you see that Invis platform? I'm still jealous. If you want to keep up with Lady Arcaders events, you can join our public Discord to get updates on upcoming events. Type !Discord in the chat for a link.
All right, so this door is just about to open, so we're going to toss these 3 aliens here. Just going to kick that one, dash that one, and don't go into the shredder. I'll just throw you in. No, please, 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 please.
The aliens are misbehaving today.
They're misbehaving. All right. Awesome. All right, we got those 3 in. Now we just need to run on this a little bit ourselves. Just going to spin as I jump.
I hate to say it because it's an auto-scroller, but it seems like a cool level.
It is a really cool level. Whee! All right. So, this level, we're supposed to use all 3 characters to do a bunch of puzzles to save Slinky, Rex, and Ham. Once again, we have to save them a second time. We're supposed to use all 3 characters. Buzz is going to say some stuff. He wants us to stay on the air ducts. I don't really feel like doing that, so I'm actually going to go into the catwalk. Sorry, Buzz. So I'm just going to jump here, dash here, and jump up here. And I'm going to Buzz's section. So this is supposed to be Buzz Lightyear's section. Instead, I'm here. We're going to put this cube in, and we're going to put the second cube in, but not all the way. We're going to have it be in just slightly. We're now going to switch as Jessie. Jessie is also not going to follow the rules. She is also going to be going into Buzz's section, but only briefly here. So doing an infinite wall jump here.
Broken to the very end.
Exactly. So we are going to be disabling this fire. And then we're going to be switching to Woody and disable the crushers. So overlap those 2 cutscenes. That's very nice. So this final section will require all 3 characters, but everyone's kind of in a weird place right now. So we actually have to fall off and die as Woody right here. So this death is actually going to take 20 seconds. Fun fact, if you close the game and reopen it, this death is instant. Don't know why. So in PB runs, we actually restart the game after prison break, but just wanted to have time to explain that and show off Woody just falling into the abyss here for 20 seconds.
It's okay. He's having a fun time.
He's
It'll
having
be
a
all
great
over
time.
soon.
All right. So everyone's spawned in their proper places now. We're going to jump over here. Try to dash this button through the steam. Very nice. Switch over to Buzz. This platform's activated. Do that. We're going to go over to this cube. Not going to grab it just yet. Switch over to Woody. Oh, please make it. Please make it. I've routed this out so that, like, all the character switching, like, you never have any downtime. Like, you always have something to do as one of the characters. So we're going to be jumping there. And then I'm preparing that. And then here we have to platform across this fire. I'm going to skip this last one here to avoid a cutscene. That's called fire jump. It's a lot harder than it looks. One more infinite wall jump for the game. Sometimes they like to fail like that. I don't know why.
I'll miss it.
Then we're going to land on that to open one door. We're going to bring this cube over as Buzz. We're going to open the second door, switch over to Buzz, and throw the cube. And then the cube is going to fall into the shredder during the cutscene, overlapping. And that is the end of Junkyard. We got one more level, Haunted Bakery. Big flashing lights warning for this final level here. There's a turret that we're going to be using that has some pretty extreme flashing lights. This is the final level of the run. And this is taking place in the playtime world, in the imagination of both Andy and Bonnie. So we are going to be fighting off these muffins here. And this first part is pretty simple. Just gotta get all these muffins out of the way. After this, we are going to be fighting the witch or Dolly. There are 5 different phases that we have to do, and the first phase and the third phase will require using a turret, and then the second phase and fourth phase require using a cow launcher. kind of like a rocket launcher, but it launches cows. So, you know, kid logic, makes sense. And then the 5th phase usually requires us to do both. However, we're only going to be using the cow launcher. So, kind of up here, we are going to be using the turret. Oh, sorry. It's a space cannon. I forgot. All right. So this is flashing lights warning. So we have to use the turret here to get rid of all these tiny little flying witches. And do one more. Perfect. Now we're going to go over to the cow launcher. So there's going to be a big witch that is shooting a laser at us. Usually we have to hit it once, it'll fly around, and then we hit it again. However, we can actually hit it against this tall sheriff's building here and just kind of keep firing and keep her stunned in place here. All right, now we are going to collect ammo to spawn the next phase, and I'm actually going to die because for some reason, if you die, then this next phase will automatically complete after 26 seconds for some reason. However, if we bring the health bar down in the 3rd phase and then the 4th phase completes automatically, then whatever the health was in the 3rd phase will transfer over to the 4th phase. So we are going to be trying to get as much damage as here. All right, so I got a little bit of damage. That might be a 3-hit. So if you're lucky with the 3rd phase, you only need to hit this phase one time. Okay, that was a 4-hit, so that ended up not really saving any time, but it does make it a lot more consistent. All right, time is coming up. We have one final more phase, and we're just going to do the same thing we've done before. Please don't fly away. You flew away, okay. Its feet, lock it in place. One more hit, come on. And time! Woo! All right. Woo! What a run. That was Toy Story Trilogy. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Some shout outs. Thank you so much to the Toy Story community. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this game. Shout out to Lady Arcaders for having me. I'm IzzyHope58. I stream on Twitch. I speedrun a lot of movie licensed games, specifically Pixar games. I've ran every Pixar game, so if you want to check me out. I also want to give a quick shout out to me and my roommates. We're working on a film project, and we just released a trailer. So if you search up Harmonious Trailer on YouTube, you should be able to find it. It's under Witchfind Productions, so just wanted to shout that out. Thank you all so much for watching. This was so much fun, and thanks for having me.
Of course, it's been absolutely wonderful having you here, Izzy. Thank you so much for introducing me to a lot of games I did not think I would enjoy as much as I did. I'll be honest. It's been absolutely wonderful, but don't go anywhere yet. We still have plenty to enjoy. Right after this, we are going to be going right into an interview with Abizi and Tazel over their Super Cooked run. So stay tuned for that, and unfortunately, this will also mark my disembark from the host station for now. So, I would like to thank everyone for having me here, and I cannot wait to sit here again tomorrow. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.